Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Hunt for Bronze. It's been a while since I've sat down and filmed a proper episode for you guys where I go out and fish. I've been off, had a bit of knee surgery, and worked out that I had 4 weeks off fishing, and tomorrow's my first session back since, 4 weeks ago. Now, there's an episode I filmed just before I had surgery, which I'm not sure if I'm going to release yet. I'm not 100% sure on what I got in terms of quality, and I just don't know if it was up to scratch. So I got a bit way through editing it late last week, and although I was meant to drop 2 videos last week, I couldn't. I wasn't happy with the quality of content, and I'm trying to move this channel forward and really just improve upon what I present to all you guys. I think, you guys are supporting me, so I'd like to provide you with some high quality content, but it's not part of the point. This episode we're actually going to go through something which I get asked often, whether it's through social media inboxes or just in person, in general chat, talking to fellow anglers out there. But a lot of people ask about how to set up or what to set up for a general bass fishing outfit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through that setup. We're going to go through kind of a bit of a bait cast setup and a spinning rod setup. Now, I've already set up the bait cast rod. I got really excited because Aaron has sent me a few rods, 2 barras, well, 1 barra stick, 1 heavy bass, light barra, kind of almost a jack stick as well, and a bass spinning rod, as you can see here. Now, I did an unboxing on them, and I've got to have a look through that footage, so hopefully I can release that to you guys before this drops, but if not, well, here's going to be your first look. So we've got 2 rods here. So the first rod is, and it's going to be the one we're going to set up to, actually no, we'll go to the one that I've already set up so you guys can have a look. But it's a 7'3" Immortal 2 8 to 14 bait cast outfit. As you can see there, ACM, nice handle is done for me, but that is it. Nice simple bait cast rod. It's a 7'2" rod, so it's a nice long stick, which is going to be perfect for what we're going to be doing tomorrow, and that's going to be fishing the banks at North Pine Dam and walking casting. I can't quite drag my kayak to the water yet, the knee just won't let it, so we're going to do a bit of a walk, move the knee around, bit of rehab, PT for myself, but a good opportunity to get out on the water and have a fish, and I might run into some of you guys out there on the water. Now, I've got that paired to a 150, I'm pretty sure, size bait cast. It's a Dio T3 ballistic. Guys who've been fishing a while know these reels. They came out with 2 limited edition colours, the red and the yellow. I have got the red. I've always wanted the yellow, but haven't quite, bit the bullet on that. And to be honest, I'd only be buying it to have the set. But I've matched that with 20-pound Suffix 832 in that pink colour, aesthetic matching, because it means so much. It doesn't. I'm just testing out this braid. Last time I fished with it was in like 2000, somewhere between 2008 and 2011, just when it was first, I think it was about when it was first released on the market. Now, I wasn't too fussed on it then, but a lot of people have highly rated it for bait cast stuff, especially for barra fishing. So I'm giving it a go, because this will also be a light barra stick that I'll use on other dams. Maybe not Mondi right now, maybe Mondi out in the open water, but we'll see. We'll see. And what we're going to do is, the fact that that's also got the 20-pound braid on it, like I'm going to throw this for spinnerbaits on the edges for for bass at North Pine, but it also gives me the opportunity to use buzz baits. Being a 7'2" bait cast, this is going to send those lures a mile, which is going to be Mickey Mouse for what we want to do, especially with the water up and in floods. Okay, so that is the setup I've got there. Now we're going to tie a 16-pound leader on that. At the moment I've got Shimano Oshia. I'm a big FC Rock kind of guy. I just didn't buy it and I thought I'd give a different leader a go, and so far I've been relatively impressed with it. Probably not my favourite leader, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. Now, the next part of this. So, you're looking for a basic bass spinning rod, or combo. There's a few things I like to tick off, and I like to look at. One is going to be the type of fish and where you're fishing. So for me, I do a lot of dam stuff and a lot of lighter river stuff. I don't necessarily go out and throw big heavy stuff in rivers. And if I'm in a dam and I'm using a spinning rod, I'm generally using a smaller jerkbait or a plastic, or actually even my blade setup is a finesse bait cast. So for me, this is kind of spinning rods, pretty much, yeah, those jerk baits, top water walk the dog lures, and plastics. So for me, the rod of choice now, and as many are, well, for this time, I'm just going to get it out of that rod sleeve there. But we have got a 4 to 8 pound, 4 to 8 pound, 7'2" again, ACM lattice range, and this is a beautifully long rod. Now, I would say that it is a little bit heavier than your typical 4 to 8 pound. Compared to some rods on the market, you'd probably sit at about a 4 to 10 pound, but it's got a nice soft tip on it, which is perfect for bass. So for me, when I'm bass fishing and those 3 types of lures I picked, I like to have a bit of give in the top. That is, that when a bass strikes it, as you can see there, without much effort, that tip just slightly moves, just so slightly. And the important part about that is bass are implosion feeders, or they'll swipe at lures. You don't, on those techniques I've mentioned, I don't like having a super fast tapered rod, because a bass, top water, jerkbait, and those plastics, with the plastics, they'll nip at the tail, and if you've got a fast rod, it'll rip it out of their mouth too quickly, for what I found. A top water rod, you actually want them to be able to suck the lure down and it to go underwater before the rod loads up. So if you have, even if it's, you know, tiny bit of give like that, that's that much line that's going down to the fish, letting it suck that lure in and go under with it. And the same thing goes with jerk baits, because of the way they eat them on the paws, and just as you're about to rip them, having a rod that just has a tiny bit of give, just a nice soft bit of give like that, you're going to catch more fish. Now, if you don't have that, I suggest running a longer leader. So I normally run quite a long leader as it is, use an FG knot, no troubles whatsoever. But if you've got a fast, stiff rod and you're missing lots of fish, double your length of leader. That means you've got more stretch in the line, more give, more chance of catching that fish. Okay, this is going to be a longer video. I'm sorry, but we're going to go through the whole process here, because why not? Why not? Okay. The next thing is, you know, you got a 4 to 8 pound rod. You're looking at, you know, dams, rivers. You want a good size reel. You want a 2500 size reel for about that weight rod, just so you can cast your lures further. You know, you might be tempted to go to a 1000 size reel because it's lighter or whatever. You will lose casting distance and you will regret that decision unless you're at a, you know, a 1 to 3 kilo rod. So personally, we'll go through the rest of this, but barrage your heads. But personally, yeah, I will run a 2500 size reel for this application. Now, Shimano, Daiwa, yeah, not going to be too disappointed. You go either way. I believe Akuma are now making relatively decent reels in that size. Abu high-end has some really nice 2500 reels. To be honest, the choice is yours. Personally, I use the Shimano Stratix a lot, and that is for one reason and one reason only, is that I've used them for years. My last Stratic, the white one, which you guys would have seen in many videos, that reel was good to go for 10 years. And to be honest, it's still not bad. It just doesn't have a drag clicker. And you guys, as much as I do, love hearing the drag go off. So, yeah, 2500 Shimano. the newest Stradic they currently have out. Nice reel, solid reel. Heavier, yes. I like a heavier reel because it feels more solid in the hand for me. And if I'm taking this rod on the kayak or walking the banks, I want a reel that's sturdy, that's a bit of a workhorse. Why do I go Shimano? Well, Shimano for me are the 4-wheel drive reels of the fishing world. They may not be as smooth as your Daiwas or your high-end Abus, but you know, they're smooth and they stay smooth a long time and they will take a beating. Personal opinion though, not dissing any reel. As you guys know, I have 2 Daiwa spinning reels. I've just showed you a Daiwa Baitcaster. At the moment, if it's me picking, I'm picking a Stradic. Alright, so next part is you set up your reel. Okay, so there's 2 schools of thoughts here, right? First school of thought is you set up your reel so you're winding on your non-dominant hand. A lot of people I know have been brought up fishing, and how they were brought up to fish was that they swapped the reel in the air. Nothing wrong with that. It's all about comfort here for me. I'm left-handed, so I fish the right way, but I fish with the reel handle on the right side, because what that means is my dominant hand I can use for all the finesse shaking of the lure and everything important. Again, individual there, individual choice. So you got a 4 to 8 pound rod, 2500 size reel. The next step is line. What line are you going to choose? Now personally, I've been using Power Pro for 10 plus years. And for me, it has been the one that I've consistently gone back to. I've tested a whole heap of different braids, but I've always gone back to Power Pro. So I got 10 pound here. Why'd I go 10 pound and maybe not an 8 or whatever? Braids these days are super thin, and at 10 pound, I just find I've got a little bit more tree resistance. Noting I fish Barumba a lot, you guys would probably understand that if you're fishing in the timber, around rocks, in the weed, if you have just a little bit stronger braid or a little bit more in the braid, you're going to do off better. Along with when I brim fish, I fish a lot. I fish structure for brim. I don't typically fish flat. So if I have something that I can put a little bit more hurt into the fish with, I'm going to be happy. And up here in Brizzy, there is that much you can bycatch. It's not funny. So a little bit more confidence in the thickness of my braid and abrasion resistance and strength tying to leader, the better. That also lets me tie on a 16 pound leader a bit better. I prefer going like your 10 to 16. I find that's pretty good. And up here where we've got toga in the fresh water, or you're fishing top water and you got a heap of flatheaders bycatch, just gives you a little bit more safety. And that's just when I'm fishing that monofilament at the top. Alright, I'm going to spool the reel up. I'm not going to show you that process because it is a process that you can find anywhere, but I'm just talking about what I like and how I like to set up my gear and what I like to set up with my gear. So yeah, I'm going to put a bit of backing down. Always put backing down on your spinning reel and check how much, or actually any reel you tie braid to, put backing down. It's not hard to do. I'm literally using this 16 pound mono that I've got as backing. You can use fluorocarbon, whatever. It just lets that braid not slip on the spool itself, and it also lets you fill out your reel as much as possible. So I'm going to stop you guys there. I'm going to do this, and then we're going to go on to leader, how I attach the leader, and then onto lure choice that you might look for fishing this time of year in our dams and rivers in Australia for bass. There's a bit more mess here, as you can see from spooling up, but now that we've spooled up the reel, I did just over a third of backing with 10 pound braid, and that got me to exactly a perfect spool. But we've tied on with an FG knot. We've put on 16 pound mono, and the reason I'm going mono is tomorrow I'm going to fish top water. I'm just going to have top water on the spinning rod all morning, and we're going to throw a few different things and see how they go. Whereas on the Baitcast, I'm going to go 2 options and maybe crack in a third. I might put it in the box and see how it goes, but we're going to go with the old swim bait, spinner bait. May even throw the buzz bait, but the other thing I might pick up is like the anthrax or like a big wake bait to imitate the bonies. That'll hopefully be feeding on all the bugs post this second lot of rain we've had tonight. So they had a big rainstorm literally 5 minutes ago, and that should shake the bugs up that came out a few days ago and probably get another, maybe a flying ant hatch or something. So if I have something, you know, that looks like a bony swim bait eating bugs off the top, or something on top that looks like a bug walker, we should be in for a good bit of fun. So I'm going to get those on, and the next thing I'll see of you guys is on the water. I know this is like a 18-minute video already, but we'll see how this goes. Those a go. I'll talk through those combos a bit more in depth. But yeah, we're just doing a bit of a land-based dam session. Bit of PT for the old knee post-surgery, and kind of just, I can't take the kayak out, boat's getting fixed, so we're just making, you know, making lemonade where we can. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We've hit that 2,000 subscribers mark on YouTube, which is awesome. Thank you guys all for subscribing. We've also yeah, we've been kicking some goals on videos lately, so if you haven't seen them already, the Mondi Dam Barra series, and I did a episode here at North Pine Dam not actually that long ago, spinnerbait and bass as well, in the wind. So go check out those last videos, and yeah, you guys are going on my chest. Get down to the water and let's do this. We're fishing one of the slower taking banks. We're going to start with the top water lure. So I've got 2 lures tied on here. We got the Demiki D-Walker, as you can see there, and we've got a baby bluegill swim bait on the Baitcast setup. And now the reason why I've gone with these 2 lures, the dam's just had a big influx of water. Now you can see that how far that dam's gone up. You know, that's an extra kind of 2-3 meters from the bank that water's run up. Oh. Oh. Yep. Yep. Oh, he's pulled the hook. You know what? I'm feeling. I'm gonna crack out the chatterbait. Give the chatterbait a go. Yeah. Yeah. Bugger it, let's give the chatterbait a go. I don't know why, I'm just thinking chatterbait. Yep, there we go. Oh, nice. This rod's different fighting a bass on this long of a rod. Not big. He's not big. But hey, first on this rod. Bang. Not a big fish, you know, maybe about 38 centimeters. No, probably about 34, 35. But yeah, just hit that chatterbait, and that's on that new ACM Eternity 2. That blank, when a fish loads up on it, is awesome. That's so good. Nice, really good action. Just gonna have to jam this chatterbait out. Oh, that did the damage, the Demiki chatterbait. Love it. All right, I'm gonna let this guy go. All right. So unfortunately we didn't get fish on both lures today, both rods, but I did get a hookup on the other one, and it did feel quite nice on the hookup. So I'm looking forward to catching a fish on it. But while I'm wrapping up the cast here, obviously the two lures that did the damage, one was the Demiki D Walker, which I dropped that fish on, and the other one's the Demiki Tremble Jig, which is the bladed jig or chatterbait that I'm throwing right now. I did have a spinnerbait and a swim bait on this rod, but to be honest, I just had a feeling that chatterbait would be the go. I know it's about the time of year historically when I've caught bass on chatterbaits, so I thought it could be a bit early, but we'll just give it a go. And as you saw, it worked. A lot of the fishing and a lot of picking up, you know, what lures to throw when, comes down to experience. And once you've got a bit of experience, you start to develop a gut. I'd call it a gut feeling. You just kind of start picking up on the small things. Unfortunately, there's no way to expedite that process besides time on the water. The only way you're gonna speed up your knowledge base is actually going out and fishing in all conditions, all weather. You know, today, rainy, overcast, southwesterly wind. I had 3 hours to fish, but I got up at 3 o'clock this morning, 3:20, to be on the dam by sunrise, because I knew there'd be an early water top water bite, or there'd be a chance at an early water top water bite, which, you know, 10-20 minutes in, I got a good hit, got a good eat and a hookup. Then I started to push it a bit. I knew instinctively that probably by about 6 o'clock the top water bite would all but shut down. In reality, I knew it'd be closer to 5:30, which it was. So what I did there was I then thought, okay, well, what else can I use? I had the spinnerbait on, gave that a few casts, and in all honesty, when I say I just wasn't feeling it, that's literally it. I just was not feeling it. Like, I just legitimately was like, you know what? This doesn't feel right. Normally I'm pretty good when it comes to spinnerbait and all that, and like, you know, I'd probably pick up a spinnerbait over a chatterbait in this dam personally, but I just wasn't feeling it. So I picked up the chatterbait. I think it was like maybe 10, not even 10 casts, and I got that fish. So that was just an instinctive choice of picking something maybe a little bit more compact, that's got a good bit of vibration, that I can cast out, fish over the weed, and it seemed to have worked. The other thing I would have also looked to have picked up is a lipless crankbait. you know, that would have been the other choice if I didn't pick up the chatterbait. So, you know, a bit of extra lessons in here, not just how I set up my combos and why. But we are all out of time. We've got like 2 casts left and we're calling it. Well, that does it, guys. Another episode of the Hunt for Bronze done and dusted. Today, chatterbait, rod testing of both the new ACMs. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode of how I go from being at home, setting up the tackle, to now on the water a couple of days later, chasing them. Although I didn't use a spinning rod setup, I did use one of the 2 that I did set up, being the Eternity Baitcast. So yeah, that's it. If you're interested on getting any of the gear I talked about in today's video, link down below. And that's pretty much me done. So please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna keep pushing. Next year's goal will be 3,000 subs, so let's start getting that way early. And yeah, we're just gonna crack on, I reckon. We're just gonna push through it. And I really appreciate everyone this year so far who's jumped on, watched any of my videos, subscribed to the channel, interacted. It's all good. I love it. So yeah, we're just gonna keep on building the Hunt for Bronze channel. All right, guys, that's me done. Until next time, go out fishing, enjoy yourselves. We out.